want to show you guys how I made this. And it's raining here. It's always raining here, almost. We're in Oregon here. So anyway, I made this. And I'm loving it. And I made 20 others. So if you guys want to see how I did it, watch it up. And thanks for joining me. Okay, so you want to know how I made these pictures? They are just on the glass on picture frames, and I put all the items, different seashells and starfish and jewels and sea glass and mussel shells and stones and any manner of different textured items I might find along the beach side that looked unique. And then I've got some little rocks and just little craft things I've collected through the years. And this is a fun one. See, the background's kind of wavy looking, and so I put 2 fish in it. Here's a sea glass one. There's a unique one. That's red jasper and some white seashells and gloves spelled with some rocks, a heart-shaped white rock. There's a fun crushed glass one, amber with an owl. Here's a natural type with a couple dolphins jumping through. And then I always like to attach a little hanger on the back so you can hang them on the wall or mount them on a stand. Okay, here they're sitting here ready to be resined. I've got everything placed where I want it. I've got them sitting on those wood strips there. That's to make sure they're level and to keep them up off of the tabletop surface if they leak through the back, which they do quite often. Before this stage I didn't tape it, but you've got to run a bead of silicone along the edges so that the resin doesn't run through. There's my fish blue in that tank. Okay, we're going to put the gloves on, get the face mask on, and get ready to mix the resin. Some people like to put the resin on first and then place the items. It takes me too long to decide what items I want and to get them all placed and matched up and looking good, so I just like to put them on first. So we use the 1-to-1 part resin and hardener. And for my project, I ended up for 20 frames of various sizes. 2 were 11 by 14, and there's 4 or 5 smaller 3 by 5s and smaller, but anyway, it took 12 milliliters, 3 of these batches to complete this project, which is a large batch. We get the window opened. Always be sure to wear a respirator when you're working with resin. Wear your gloves. This particular brand is low fume. I don't smell a thing when I'm using that, but I do have a respirator on. I like to take it outside and mix it up. 2 minutes. It's not raining today, that's a surprise. We're in the rain season over here in Oregon now. You know, I always like to keep my things covered overnight. It took me about 3 days to place all of these items, and that's why I just decided to make all hearts. I actually wanted to get these done before Valentine's Day, and here we're well into the later part of March. But they're done. They turned out cute. Hearts are great for all year round. I don't use patterns. I just put them out. Some people could, if you wanted, you could put a heart pattern behind these, or any shape or pattern you wanted, like a turtle or a whale or whatever. But not me. I just freehand them. I'm checking for any last minute dust before I pour. When you do pour, you kind of want to make sure your clothes are as lint free as they can be, so you don't drop things on it. And pay attention as you're going, and in case anything drops in there, you can pull it out with a little pokey device and just pull it out. And then after we get all of these poured and spread the way we want them, well, then we're going to cover them right back up again, because even overnight you wouldn't believe how much dust is just in the air. I try to keep my house clean, vacuum. Now normally I don't do these in the house anyway, I do them out in my shop, but it's been cold and damp and humid, and the environment for this to cure properly, it needs to be pretty warm. I'm not sure what the specs are, upper 60s. And I don't heat the shop that's out in my... So here I'm using a heat gun to kind of heat the resin a little bit, make it softer, and it will run right underneath all the shells. But you kind of got to work each one, move it around, make sure that it did, make sure it got it to all the edges. If you over pour, rubbing alcohol is the best thing to use for that. Sometimes I get it dripping on the shells. I like to pour my resin first and then put the shells on, and not put resin on the things to keep their natural beauty. It is very pretty if you put the resin over them and make it shiny, because it really makes the colors pop even more. It looks like a wet look. But I like both. But I actually prefer the natural. That one's wild. So I'm just using, I got a bunch of jewelry and different things. I like to pick them up at yard sales or different places, and beads or whatever people are getting rid of for cheap. So you can see I've got brooches and other things in there. Okay, so we're doing the uncovering now after they've already cured overnight. That's my rack there. Man, I cleaned out my whole craft room and organized it up on the rack so I knew what I had. I forget what I have all the time. Okay, here we gotta attach the hangers for the back. So you always just pre-drill, makes it a lot easier. And then they just go right in there. Super sturdy hanger. You can hang them, like I said, or you can put them in a stand, prop them up against something if they're the right size, like in a window. Just fun how you can see through them. And then sometimes little things drip on the back, so I just kind of scrape them off, pop them off. Try not to cause any damage to the frame. If I do, I can always use a little stain for touch-up. since it's on the back. Got to be sure you don't drill all the way through your picture frame. I did do that once on a black one. Part of the charm. None of these are perfect. Nothing I ever do is perfect. There's always something, but you kind of don't really even notice it. I get a little over judgmental on my themes and never think they're going to be good enough, and I've had a hard time putting my art out there. It's kind of a personal thing, you know. It's not like you're selling an item on Facebook or something. It's something that you personally made, and I've been selling things at the local markets and art festivals and having so much fun at it, and I'm hooked up for a couple more here coming up in the near future. But for now, I think I'm going to go ahead and put these on Etsy, and my Etsy is Oceanside Projects if you want to go check that out. I put 10 of these on there, and I'm going to get the other 10 on there, and I've got a whole bunch of other things that I made in the wood crafting variety, like birdhouses and propagation, starting plant stations, and big fuzzy dice, and you know, you name it. I love to build stuff and craft stuff. So if these are some things you want to see, subscribe to my channel. It's a new channel. I'm a noob. Don't know much about making videos, but I'm sure giving it a shot, and it's pretty fun. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys this. This is how I was going to make a few stands to put them on, make them kind of a low. These are some of the louvers on some old closet doors that someone was throwing away and they gave me, and those louvers can be used for many things, like shingles on a birdhouse or something. But I'm trying to make some of these little stands here, and I got a little overzealous. I guess I probably didn't need the big industrial blowtorch here, but I was wanting to heat up my branding iron so I could brand a few things, and I was more paying attention to that, and so I kind of burnt them up a little bit there. Was wishing I had a hot dog and some marshmallows and have a little snack there. Because yeah, I destroyed a couple, but I ended up getting 3 good ones. This is a method called shonsugiban. It's a Japanese wood treatment that preserves the wood. It makes it strong and hard and weather resistant, bug resistant. And now I'm heating up my iron here. The next time, I see I burnt up my string too. What a goof. Okay, thanks for watching that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead and grab you a little bit of resin and a picture frame and some of your treacherous items and epoxy them in a long-lasting picture frame that you can put on your wall. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.